UFC 313 is looking pretty decent. I mean, after UFC 312, which was kind of terrible, we got some decent announcements for this card that I'm going to go over and kind of give my early predictions and just my thoughts on the card so far on, some of these bigger fights. First up, we got the main event Pereira versus Ankalaev. Finally, I mean, we've been waiting for this fight to happen for, kind of a little while. Uncle Ives ranked number one currently, so it was kind of deserving. A lot of people were saying Alex was ducking this fight, but it looks to be made. I'm gonna be honest. I think Alex is gonna win this. The weird thing with this fight is people think Uncle Ives some like sort of great wrestler. Well, I don't think he's like a terrible wrestler or anything. I think the issue is going to be on the feet for Pereira. I think Uncle Ives boxing is nasty. Very good striking. I mean, I don't even want to take in the whole grappling. I don't even think that's going to play a part in this fight. I think on the feet, this is going to be a very, very interesting fight from Pereira and Ankalaev. But I see Ankalaev's one weakness being the leg kicks. I hope he's been trained. I mean, he can't really do much for it. It's just the way he stands, his boxing heavy approach keeps him very vulnerable to the leg kick, as we saw when he fought Jan. The leg kicks were an issue, and I could see Pereira just chewing up that leg and, kind of making it where Ankalaev kind of becomes a little bit too stationary and Pereira starts to pick him apart later in the fight. I think for Ankalaev, his best rounds will probably be round 1, 2, and I think after that, if Alex is kicking out that leg, it's gonna just slowly wear him down. And I think 3 or 4, I could see Alex getting a knockout. Alex has been good, right? Obviously, we've seen how he's done so far in his career and so far at light heavyweight, but it seems like he's only been getting better. The way he knocked out Yuri was very impressive. And then to see Yuri go on to beat Jamal Hill like that, I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, Yuri's making the improvements." Yuri's kind of still fought the same way. His hands weren't really up against Jamal Hill, but just to see Alex Pereira be able to solve the puzzle that is Yuri, not once but twice. I mean, and dropping him twice in that fight. I just got to go with Alex. I got to go with Alex. I think this is going to be a difficult fight for him, not because of the wrestling, because of the boxing. And this is going to be, interesting to see. We know that a lot of kickboxers have difficulties with boxers. As you can tell with Israel Adesanya fighting Imavov, his boxing defense obviously was a downfall for him in that fight and the Strickland fight. But when we saw the way Alex fought Strickland, you know, obviously caught him. I can see Alex having good success in the later rounds, just trying to keep Ankalaev at range, and then eventually getting him stationary and putting him down and out. This card, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to like it. We got Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. I really like this fight. The only issue I have with this is that Justin Gaethje, if he wins this, probably will be getting a title shot, and I don't think he deserves that coming off of one win. But besides that, let's talk about the fight. Dan Hooker, the most durable man in the division, I'd say. He can fucking take a shot. He gets hit and he keeps coming forward and he likes to get hit against Justin Gaethje, someone who hits very hard, very, very, very hard. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. We're just going to be able to see how long Dan Hooker can withstand a beating for. I mean, I think Dan Hooker might win this. If Dan Hooker is able to take some of the big shots and kind of catch Gaethje up close, I know Gaethje's caught or Gaethje's taken some time off since his knockout loss. It was a pretty bad knockout, but he's been out for about a year and some change probably, and he should be fully healed coming back into this. But this is going to be a slugfest. Gaethje's going to be throwing, and Dan Hooker is going to be throwing right back. I can see Dan Hooker's durability. He's been on a little bit of a run recently. I could see him, kind of withstanding the heat coming from Gaethje and eventually catching him and putting him down. But again, I'm not too sure about this fight yet. I'm gonna have to, look into it a little more. But this is just, early thoughts. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Hooker, weathers the storm and makes that out alive. But this is a very interesting matchup, and this is a very fun fight. I'm excited that this fight was made. I think it's probably a perfect time for both of them really to be fighting one another. But I'm just a little bit upset that if Gaethje wins, he's going to get a title shot. Don't think he deserves it. But that being on the line for him, might get a little bit better of a performance out of him. This is his chance again at gold if he wins this. So interesting to see how this plays out, but very excited for this one. And I'm probably more excited for the next fight. We got Mauricio Rufi versus Bobby Green. This is a great fight for Rufi. I'm not sure if Green's in the rankings. It's probably on the screen, but this is a big step up for him at this point. He's kind of only fought, Jamie Malarkey, not too good. And then what's his name? The guy with the fucking chin and a half, who was recently cut from the UFC, which kind of sucks. I get it, he didn't make weight, but I think he was a tough guy. But Rufi should be able to get this one done. He's gonna come in at a crazy, crazy favorite, I assume. So, it's a little bit of a risk because he's taken such a big step up fighting a guy like Bobby Green, who has such an awkward style. But I think Bobby Green has a lot of openings on the feet, as you know. And I think Rufi's gonna be able to capitalize off that. The way he throws his shots and his unorthodox style, is gonna cause some problems for Bobby Green. I could see it. This fight will end um, probably second or third round. I could see, Rufi catching him and putting him out. I think it's just a matter of time before he, is able to catch him with something. But we got an issue with Rufi. I know his last fight, round three, he was looking a little tired. And, Bobby Green coming forward this whole fight, just kind of walking Rufi down. Who knows if it's going to be able to cause some issues for him. But he has a lot of guys in the gym that will be able to kind not imitate the style, but imitate, the pressure fighting style. So he should be pretty well prepared for this. But I'm very excited for this. This is kind of a uh big, not really a big step up for Rufi, but this is a chance to show, what how good he really is. I mean, this is going to be a big fight for his career right now against Bobby Green, who's a big, big, big name in the division. Who's unranked, or if he is ranked, very low ranked. So this is a big chance, big opportunity for Rufi to really show what he's made of, and as well with Bobby Green, this is a chance for him to, a hot prospect coming up. If Bobby Green's able to get this one done, you know, that just kind of cements his status as, the guy right there, in this weight class that's able to, end a couple contenders. Bobby Green really hasn't fought too many lower level guys. I'm trying to think. Jalen Turner at 300. Was that 300? No, whenever he fought Jalen Turner, then he fought Paddy Pimblett, which, that fight didn't go too well. Um, yeah, this is going to be a decent fight down for someone like Bobby Green. So he kind of needs this win, but I think Rufi, you know, nasty striking on the feet. Not too much film out there on him. Only fought in UFC a couple times. I could see Mauricio Rufi getting this one done. He seems to only improve. That Yon Top fight. That's his name, Yon Top. I remembered it now. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm surprised he wasn't able to finish him," and blah 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 blah, and kind of wrote him off because of he wasn't able to finish Yontop. But going into that fight, I said this fight will be won by decision by Rufi because of how durable Yontop is, and not to mention he missed weight. So I don't think that was Rufi doesn't really have the power he everyone thought he had. That's not true, and Bobby Green is able to be knocked out. So I think that's gonna go. I think that's exactly how it's gonna go. Rufi's gonna probably get a highlight reel knockout. Going to be some cool moments in the fight. And I got one more fight. It's not on here, and I'm not even going to put it up because I don't want to confuse anyone. But Arman Sarukian versus Michael Chandler was rumored to be on this, and that rumor is seemingly false. That is not true. Everything I've heard and know of, I was going to upload this video and include that in there, but I didn't want to jump the gun. It seems like that is false. I'm so happy that that's not true. So hopefully we'll be seeing, Armand and Charles. I don't think on this card, but yeah, definitely not on this card. But hopefully maybe Miami or something like that. So yeah, that rumor. I think it was on this card that Armand versus Chandler fight was supposed to be. Maybe on a different card. But just so you guys know, that is not true. These are 314 announcements for kind of the important fights on this card so far. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna be putting out some more content like this. I kind of like doing these announcements type of thing. But yeah, like and subscribe. I'm gone. Bye.